Good morning. Today we shall discuss on the estuarine ecosystem, the characteristic features, the food chain, food web, and the conditions, characteristic features of the estuarine ecosystem. The estuarine ecosystem are the transitional zones between the river and the seas. It is actually the mixing of the fresh water of the river and the salt water of the oceans and the rivers. Next, estuarine is an area in which fresh water from a river mixes with salt water from the ocean, a transition area from the land to the ocean. The other names for the estuarines are the bay, sound, lagoon, harbor, or bayou. So, in this picture, you can see how the area where the fresh and the salt water mix, and the rivers bring in the fresh water to the sea. So estuaries are basically the transitional zones between the river and the seas. In estuarine ecosystem, there is a zonation depending on the depth of the ecosystem. So you have the deep water zone, which is a aphotic zone where light does not penetrate. The middle zone is a photic zone, is a light penetration zone, and the topmost one is a littoral zone or the shallow region of the estuary. Now in this region you can see the characteristic features of the estuarine ecosystem. The freshwater inflow is represented with the quantity of the water flowing, timing, frequency, duration and extent, the quality of the water and the tidal conditions. The estuarine conditions are the salinity, sediment, dissolved material and the particulate matter. The estuarine resources are represented by high integrity, namely the species composition, abundance, biomass and diversity. Functions are the primary production, secondary production and the nutrient cycling, and the sustainability of the habitats, valued resources and the ecosystem services. The components of the estuarine ecosystem are basically the abiotic factors and the biotic factors. Abiotic factors are the water, soil, light and temperature, and the biotic factors are the mangroves, algae, birds, turtles and the fishes. The estuarine ecosystem structural components are the abiotic components, and which are the nutrients such as the phosphorus, nitrogen, temperature, light, salinity and pH. The ecosystem experiences wide daily and seasonal fluctuations in temperature and salinity level because of variation in the freshwater inflows. The biotic components are the producers, which are the phytoplanktons, and these are the microorganisms that manufacture food by photosynthesis and absorb nutrients such as phosphorus and nitrogen. Besides them, mangroves, seagrass, weeds and salt marshes also exist in this ecosystem. The consumers are basically of three types: primary consumers, secondary consumers and the tertiary consumers. Primary consumers are the zooplanktons that feed on the phytoplanktons. Then secondary consumers include worms, shellfish, small fish feeding and zooplanktons. Tertiary consumers are the turtles, crabs, fishes, etc. that feed on the secondary consumers. Decomposers are the fungi and bacteria that are the chief microbes active in decay of dead organic matter. Now in this you can see the abiotic components of the estuarine ecosystem. Next, these are the producers, and estuarine plants must be adapted to the salty habitat, and these are basically the mangroves, which are the halophytes that exist only in the saline conditions of the estuarine ecosystem. They do not survive in the inland terrestrial land surfaces. They are predominant in the estuarine ecosystem. Mangroves are the specific halophytes of this region, which show special adaptations to survive in the saline halophytic conditions of the estuarine ecosystem. These are the consumers, which are the estuarine animals, and they are of huge variety, including the blue crab, stone crab, fiddler crab, horseshoe crab, mosquito lobster, flounder, striped bass, crane, flamingo, seagull, manatee, others, and many more varieties of the consumers. Uh, Here you can see the food chain and the food web existing in the estuarine ecosystem. Food chain represents a single chain starting from the producers and ending with the top predators, whereas the food web is an interlinking of the multiple food chains in the estuarine ecosystem for sustainability. And food webs represent the nutrient pathways in the estuarine ecosystem. Food web is an interlinking and interlocking of the multiple food chains that for sustenance of life in the estuarine ecosystem. Uh, so that is about the estuarine ecosystem, the uh, the salient features, the producers and the consumers, and about the food web and that exists in the estuarine ecosystem. And estuarine ecosystems are very specific ecosystem, uh, which are the transitional zones with highly specific type of the vegetation and the consumers.